Senator Tim Scott joins me now. He is planning to introduce legislation that would increase the use of cameras nationwide. Senator Scott, welcome to the lead. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. So you're introducing body cam legislation. What do you say to your fellow Republicans who say this is an example of federalizing local police forces?
I think that there's nothing further from the truth than anyone who believes, and I haven't heard any of my Senate colleagues come forward and say they believe that the step forward of having body cameras available for law enforcement, local law enforcement, is in any way, shape, or form federalizing local law enforcement. I would oppose, object, and strongly stand in the way of federalizing local law enforcement. It's the worst idea.
So what would this do?
What this would do is would provide funding for local law enforcement who are interested in having body-worn cameras but cannot afford it. There are about 3,000 or 4,000 jurisdictions around the country who have already made the move in the direction of body cameras. There are some poor jurisdictions that cannot afford them. What I'm trying to do is make sure that the funding apparatus that could be available is available, and frankly, I think it's going to save more money than it actually costs.
There are a lot of cases that we've seen, and they've been brought to light because of cell phone cameras mainly.
Yes.
There was a case in South Carolina.
Walter Scott.
Yeah, Walter
my
Scott.
Hometown.
Yeah, and obviously the Freddie Gray case. Was there any one of these cases that prompted you to embrace this legislation?
Certainly watching the theme that's going across the country of the interactions, I think one of the ways that we have the opportunity to restore trust and confidence between law enforcement officers and community members is through the use of body-worn cameras. For me, my hometown, North Charleston, Walter Scott, certainly had a lot to do with me taking a step forward and asking for the hearing that we had yesterday, now asking for the groups that have been a part of the hearing process, the experts that have come into my office. We've had over a dozen groups come in and talk about their concerns, whether it's disclosure issues, whether it's data retention. There are a lot of issues that we need to solve on our way to it.
Privacy is a big issue.
Privacy is a big issue, and it should be a big issue. We should not rush into something. What I hope to see is Laboratory of America working on behalf of the citizens of the country. When you have that many jurisdictions moving forward with body cameras, you think 3 years from now, this is going to be the norm. What I'm trying to do is find the best practices around the country and make them available to other jurisdictions without us as a federal government coming in and dictating, mandating, or requiring anything, but other than having a funding apparatus. And the DOJ is already moving in that direction. Frankly, $20 million from the DOJ to provide some funding for body cameras is a step in the right direction.
Where are you getting the most pushback from? Is it from police? Is it from civil liberties group? Who is expressing the most concern?
I think everyone has a concern. There's no doubt about that. But I've been very excited about the fact that the sheriff's associations that I've met with, the attorney general's associations that I've met with, the mayors that I've met with, all have the same comments. Yes, this will probably be a very good tool for law enforcement officers. Let us talk first about the cost, the data retention, the disclosure issues, FOIA as well as part of disclosure issues. If we can overcome those obstacles, then we have a clearer path. But everyone so far has agreed that body cameras would, in fact, lower complaints. One study has come out that said very clearly that 90% drop in complaints against officers and a 60% drop in the use of force. Everyone seems to act differently when they know they're on video.
Well, I know I do.
But you both. Yes, sir.
Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, thanks so much. Hope you'll come back.
Thanks.
Enjoyed having you on. Coming up.